Welcome to Amplifying Leadership and Tip Thursday with Tara. I am Tara Lehman, a partner, coach, and consultant at Twin Life Coaching and Business Services, of which Amplifying Leadership is a division. I hope to bring you some information or a key takeaway you can use to build, enhance, or grow your leadership skills with Tip Thursday with Tara. I have been through many changes throughout my career, from those great big ones, like those big system ERP changes, to moving different locations, and even with those moves going to different cities. There's been, of course, C-suite changes at the top and company culture changes that were all small, but also very large. Of course, then there's also the many personnel changes that happen as well. Not all changes are large, though, or have major impacts. But one thing is for certain is that change happens. So we need to be that leader who can inspire others or can support others when change does happen, whether it be major or a simple change. One thing's for sure is change will happen. If you do listen to this podcast, I might sound a little bit like an old record stuck repeating itself, but hear me out because these things are so vital to change management as well. So obviously our first thing is communication. And yes, we want to communicate, and it's a word we use a lot when it comes to leadership development. We hear a lot of it too, but we need to do a lot more with communication. Communication is one of those things that's like a muscle you got to keep working at. So you need to communicate what you can throughout change so that you can be an inspiring leader. And communicating means sharing what you can. The board might say you can't share certain things, but you can share others. Do what you can to communicate when you are able, because this really does help with buy-in, or if there is major negative changes coming, leaders can help support their employees. Next is being very empathetic, especially if it's a negative thing that's coming to them. You're going to know about these changes way before they do in most cases as leaders. And you're going to have that time to learn about the change, accept the change, and be part of that change if that's what is your role. But they may find out days, weeks, months later about this change that you've already accepted. And so we need to be cognizant that we are emotional beings and that we need to be empathetic if someone is struggling through this. A leader really does help support our employees through that, not get upset because they're upset. We've been there maybe months ago, but we need to remember that they have not yet been there. So inspiring leaders will be those ones that are truly empathetic as well and support the employees when change happens, whether it be big or small. We all react differently to change. So what makes seemingly small change for us could be massive change for our employees. So that's something else to keep in mind. Of course, you want to listen and ask and answer questions to the best of your ability with the information that you are permitted to share. It really does build trust around whatever that change is that is coming or is about to happen. When we have trust with our employees, we do become that leader who is able to share information and is able to be empathetic. And our employees trust the information that we're providing to them. They trust us enough that maybe they won't start the rumor mill, or if they do, you can stop it right away. Something else that I really like to push when it comes to change is celebrating those small steps or those small wins if you don't normally do this, especially if it's something major like you're moving the facility somewhere else, like I've done a couple of times, or these major system changes, which I've also done a few times. Major changes generally take time in organizations, so it's really important that you are inspiring people to move forward on the change while being empathetic at the same time and allowing their emotions. Emotions don't mean yelling and screaming, and things like behaviors like that need to be reprimanded or following your discipline process, of course. But we want to make sure that if we want to keep those major changes moving forward, that we really do celebrate those small wins. Yes, Tara's goal was to plan out how we're going to move the entire facility, and Tara created the plan. If Tara is an employee who's struggling with this change, celebrating that the plan is done can be very key to help her moving forward. And last but not least, of course, this should go without saying if you're a leader out there that you need to lead by example. If your behaviors are not what you're expecting of your employees, then you need to make sure that you're taking that self-reflection and really looking at, am I leading by a positive example? So there are many ways to inspire and lead change, regardless of what that change might be. It could be difficult to inspire others to follow your lead, especially if it is something that is like a mass layoff. However, you are the leader and you need to continually support and coach your employees through whatever change is coming your way, good or negative. And remembering that communication is the key to success here. So do what you can to communicate what you're able as you are able to do it continually if possible. There's no time like the present to share the tidbits to keep momentum of change happening or really to help employees understand the negative changes and why they are coming as well. Why is an important factor to answer if it's going to negatively affect somebody. That is our Tip Thursday with Tara for this week. Did you know we have a Fundamentals of Leadership course, both on demand and live throughout the year? You can find out more about this and all of our leadership services at amplifyingleadership.ca, a Twin Life Coaching and Business Services division. Until next time, please be safe and be an amazing leader or leader to be.